So a background is that I've been in the tax industry for 19 years. I've owned my own business for 17 of those 19 years. And in that time period, I have experienced 7 due diligence audits. I think I put it in a post a couple of times in the group and in other groups before, but I've never talked about it. So I'm going to kind of break down my experience. So I've been through 7 due diligence audits. So I'm an ERO, and so I have P10 holders that work under me. I have been through a due diligence examination where they review my files, my personal files, from my P10 2 times, and the other 5 times have been with preparers. There are P10 holders under my EFIN. I have won 2 appeals of preparers possibly getting fined because they was actually fined during the due diligence examination. So I shared that in the group as well, where I showed you the letter that the IRS sent back, where one of my preparers, she had received a $47,000 fine, and we was able to reduce it to 0. And then just last week, I did an appeal with one of my old preparers who used to work in my, used to be a P10 holder back in the days for me, and she still followed the same system that I have for my business. And so I was able to assist her during her appeal process, and we should expect a 0 fine for her appeal as well. They said it's going to take a couple of weeks. They have to give it to the supervisor, and same thing that happened with my other preparer. She'll receive a letter in the mail. Long as there's no problems with the supervisor, they don't need any additional information. But as far as we know, it should be 0 fines. So a lot of people, when we post due diligence or talk about due diligence in these groups, a lot of people think they never received a letter, they've never experienced it, and a lot of people think they're not going to experience. And that's not true. So just recently, a couple of people that I know have said, well, I've never experienced it before. Some people who have recently took my webinar in October when I did it, they had never received a letter before, and they just got a letter this month. So first thing I want to say is, if you receive a due diligence letter in reference to an examination is literally they either coming into your office to review your files, or what it seems like they're doing with a lot of tax pros right now is they're requesting that they mail or fax their 25 files to the actual agent. That is what an examination is. Now, they sent other letters out in reference to due diligence, but the thing that you'll go through to actually possibly receive fines is the due diligence examination. Now, you should know that the due diligence examination letters usually go out to tax pros between September the 1st and December the 31st. From my time, every time any one of us have received a letter for an examination, it was during that time period. For all the people that's getting letters right now, it's right now in November, September, and October that they have been receiving the letters. So just because you haven't received one does not necessarily mean that you're not going to receive one, because they do send a lot of letters out in December as well. Now, I don't know if they sent some in January or not, but I know between September and December, they are usually sending out letters. Now, do not ignore the letters. That's just my thing. Do not ignore the letters. You cannot run from it, because if you ignore the letters, they're going to automatically place penalties on you, and the amount of penalties that you can get is a very large amount. So you definitely do not want to ignore the letter. You want to respond to the letter as quick as possible, and you want to get your files in order as quick as possible in order for you to get through the process. So a lot of people get them. A lot of people don't know what to do with them. What I'm hearing from a lot of people is, well, I just got to pull my files. I think that I should be good. But let me tell you this. The IRS is going to always want to find you. Understand that. They're going to look for reasons to actually give you penalties. And because most people are scared of the IRS, they want you to be scared of them, and they don't want you to fight it, and they just want you to be stuck paying them that money. So don't be too like, oh, I know I'm good type of personality, because they look to find you, even when you shouldn't get fined. That's why I've been able to beat 2 appeals, because they look to find you. The other thing is, I hear a lot of people saying they take notes, so again, they should be good. When you're taking your notes, it's like, are you taking the correct notes? And how are you taking your notes? That's going to be a key component whether or not you get fined or not. What type of questions did you ask your clients? And what type of notes did you take? So that's important. Make sure when you're responding to your letter that you are sending them in all the documents that they are requesting for each file. So make sure you keep up with the documents that they're requesting for each file. But understand that they are sending letters out. To me, they're sending out, seem like more letters than they ever sent out. Or it could just be like people are getting more comfortable talking about it. Because for you,